will be davening at 6:15. Please note that next week davening will be at 6:25. Uh, Now for a quick of our Torah. Uh, the Torah, when mentioning about Avram being given the land, and it mentions Kanani az ba'aretz, that the Philistines az ba'aretz, the Philistines were then in the land. Why then in the land? Because they were not native to the land. The Philistines were not native to Eretz Israel. They were a seafaring people tied to the what eventually became the Carthage. Okay, so they were not native. They were from outside the land, and they became our biggest normal enemy, if you will. The fight between the Philistines and the Jews was over land. They didn't want to destroy the Jewish people. They just said it's our land, and we said no, it's not. It's our land. So that's a dispute that everybody can understand. Um, if you look in the Torah, the enemy that was our worst enemy were the Amalekites, who said it's either me or the Jews. It's either me or God. There's no in between. And the current enemy that we're now facing, by the way, they want to tie themselves to the Philistines. In reality, they're the Amalekites because, they say it's either us or the Jews. And if you read their charter, they make it very clear. A lot of people might misunderstand their charter because they haven't read it, but it's in black and white. The Philistines, though, whom they want to call themselves after, were not native to Eretz Israel. They were not like the 7 Canaanite nations who were native. Uh, and that's why the Torah makes the comment, Plishtim az ba'aretz. The Philistines were then in the land. So in other words, the enemy we're facing is a much different enemy. Although they prefer to have this name. And the name Palestine, by the way, for those who don't know, comes from the Romans as an insult to the Jews. That's why if you look in rabbinic literature, you'll never see, I don't think we have one. Okay. You don't see the commentators using Palestine as a name for Eretz Israel. It's always Eretz Israel. It's never referred to as Palestine because the Romans meant it as an insult, and surprisingly, we Jews took it as an insult. Okay, but just something to think about with current events. And there's no Kaddish Rabbanim because we don't have a minion. But thank you for everybody for showing up and hanging out.